Okay, so, to those who have been watching these videos in order of upload, good for you. Props, I thank you so much, especially with, at the time of this recording, the channel only has, as you already know, very few uploads, and is more or less in a very beta stage. So, if you come here for the information and the knowledge and the education, props for you for disregarding the poor format. That aside, or I guess to final add to that little bit, is I got a few things taken care of. Then we'll move on to, well, actually, yeah, screw it, it's not important. But the reason we'll just say for me to be camping out is got one thing taken care of off the to-do list. So I'm almost done with this trip. Yay. But there has been some education that came with it, which is the fact that and if you ever want to know this, just you have some time to kill, you want to go camping, and are a little on the carefree and lesson learned, no big deal, don't phase it. Money's not exactly an issue in order for you to obviously be able to do this. So I found out, in a sense, what foods raccoons and ants do and do not eat, because I have, ants and raccoons that are obviously in nature, and there's a couple of raccoon families around. People think that raccoons are scavengers by nature and they will just take anything. Not true. And ants, same. People think that, ants will eat any kind of food. Not true. Because I have to keep my food on the outside of my tent, because I don't think I've ever displayed my tent, but it's a one-person tent. It literally looks kind of like just a zip-up coffin. So that being said, any food that I have is pretty much exposed to the ants and the raccoons, in their reach, so to speak. So I just wanted to put this out there. Ants and raccoons alike don't seem to care for blueberries, which is greatly beneficial for, people like us who like to go camping or be in one with nature. If you have an open bag, blueberries will last a good while, or at least long enough for you to eat them. If you only, even a pound of blueberries, I can eat that within, a sitting, if not, finish it off in the next, little sitting of blueberries. So that being said, blueberries, if I buy, a few pound cases worth, that might last me, a day or two, or 3 or whatever. And the blueberries don't go bad in that amount of time, especially if that's the main thing that you're eating. So, again, fun little tidbit about blueberries is ants don't like them. The ants in my area don't touch them. The raccoons never tried to go for them. Same thing with yams and sweet potatoes. I have sweet potatoes. I have sweet potatoes that I eat raw, and I just cut into them, and I don't finish the entire potato, so I just put it back in my bag. I'll actually show you. Got a little just grocery bag on my side, and that's pretty much just where I keep stuff. Again, the raccoons don't go for it. There was the other night where I had to go and basically pick up my ID from my brother's house, and that's, the little thing that I was talking about, where one thing taken care of, because don't remember if I mentioned it. The only reason why I'm camping where I am right now is to get my documents, and identifications, as I call them. So my California ID, social security card and my birth certificate, since that is where I'm born, unfortunately. Despite how sometimes you might hear me speak with another type of accent, it's where I was born. And my accents come and go. Anywho, the blueberries, that's what I was saying. I left my bag down there last night, and it had a potato that, like I said, it was already cut into and everything, and the raccoons got into my bag because, they're curious. They're like, ooh, a bag, there's stuff in there. Let's just find out what's inside. That's the only reason why they got into it. They found nothing that they wanted. Nothing was taken. So the only thing that happened was, a few things were, pulled out of the bag and put pretty much next to the bag. Bag was tipped over. I had it, sitting straight up. And that's it. They didn't take any food. They didn't even take any materials. Nothing. So, yeah. If you want to have a very fun little, experiment, so to speak, learning experience, you want to know what ants and, I guess you could say scavenging critters, what do they and will they eat, what will they take when you're out on a camping trip. Just put a few of these items out in the open or in a carrying case like this one, and just make it to where obviously they can, in a sense, reach it. I mean, and because like I said, there are raccoons that literally are more or less, they're only like 10 feet away from me, 6 feet, something like that. They're really close by. And so they have every night of an opportunity to come and take stuff. And the foods that I've been eating, the garlic, the potatoes primarily, they don't take. And I might make a separate video later today because my data is unfortunately running a little low, so I don't want to I'm restricting my data uses when I'm not in a Wi-Fi type place. So I'll try to upload this later today, if not tomorrow, of course. And green light. And then I'm going to try and make a video for my I'm going to probably just always call them sweet potatoes. Apparently there was a slight difference between sweet potatoes and yams, and what I've been eating are apparently yams. So if you want to get nitpicky about it, call it whatever you want. There's people out there who know exactly the difference and can spot it by looking at it, but grocery stores don't really care to put that difference. Because I used to work at Sprouts, fun fact, and the yams would come in boxes that say sweet potatoes, or the signs that we have on our, produce display will say, one or the other. And yeah, it didn't help when I was trying to educate myself on what's the difference and stuff like that, when the store doesn't even care to put the difference on every different, thing. You got the box that came off the load that would say, one thing, and then that same exact product will say something, the complete, will say the opposite. So, yeah, it doesn't help. But, yeah, so I'll make another video later that's a little bit better. I've been dehydrated, that's another thing. I've been, just dealing with some stuff, so I haven't uploaded. It's also why this one's kind of meh. It's because I just wanted to point out the tidbit about foods and, what will and will not be taken or eaten by ants or raccoons. But yeah, I'll make a video later in the next few days. I'll try to, talking about the health benefits of the sweet potatoes and /yams that I'm eating.